Alright, hello and welcome to Blockbuster Bash Brothers Podcast, a podcast about movies, cinema, films, flicks, moving pictures, etc. I'm your host, Trevor Rocco. With me today, as always, my co-host, Travis Labrucherie.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Good.
Great. Oh, great. Sorry.
I was kind of more towards the audience.
Right. But they don't have a voice here, so, we're just...
Well, they could leave comments.
Yeah, but that's, later.
Right,
whatever,
which is when this will...
Alright, we're getting derailed already, so we got a couple
Should we start
of
over?
guests. No, we're good. Got a couple of guests with us today. Return guests, Leah Carlin.
Hey.
Surprise guest.
Surprise guest. Just happened to walk in at the right time.
Spontaneous guest.
And a new guest. We got a newbie and an oldie.
Yeah.
Don Labrucherie.
Making my movie debut.
You're in a
movie?
Making
we should talk about your movie.
Podcast debut.
Okay, well, if we have time at the end, you can talk about your movie.
I'd love to talk about my new and upcoming movie.
Okay.
It's called the premiere of the Pen Squad.
Okay.
Pen 15 Squad?
Pen 15?
No, just Pen Squad.
Okay.
Pen 15 is the sequel.
Oh, we'll get into it later.
Sequel.
Yeah. No spoilers yet. We'll get into it later. Apologies to start the show. We have a very inconsistent release schedule lately. It's work, school, hockey, Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's just been kind of taking up our time.
Everything else besides this.
Yeah, exactly. So, also, we have another podcast coming out, or returning, the Three Dudes, One Cup hockey podcast. Yeah. So we'll leave a link in the description here. Yeah. So if you would like to, if you know or like hockey,
or if you want to learn about hockey because you don't know about hockey, maybe we could inform you about something.
There you go.
I don't know.
All right, anyways, regardless, even though it's been a long time, that means there's more movies to talk about, too. So we got to jump in here because we got, 15 movies to talk about right now? What? Maybe 16, maybe 17, maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
Cool. Where do you want to start? Let's start with Birbiglia.
Okay.
What the hell is Birbiglia?
Mike Birbiglia.
It's not a movie, it's a person.
Oh shit. I was like, that sounds weird.
So we had a podcast prepared a couple of weeks ago for Don't Think Twice and also Sleepwalk with Me. So we never really got around to it, so let's do that. Yeah. Sleepwalk with Me. You saw it?
Yes, I did, and it was a funny movie.
It was a funny movie.
And I was like...
You want to set us up with the premise a little bit?
A guy, Matt Patagonia or something, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very similar name to his own name, Mike Birbiglia.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy kind of figures out he wants to do comedy, and he has this relationship with his longtime girlfriend. And as he gets becoming a better comedian, he realizes that his relationship isn't
what it seems, I guess. I don't know.
Isn't going anywhere.
Is she not funny? Is that why?
No, that's not it. No. So it's basically it's kind of a movie about stress too, I would say. He is basically having these issues where he is sleepwalking, because he's under stress or whatever with his job and his career and his relationship, of course. So that's where some of the comedy comes from. So it's him starting to develop sleepwalking problems where it's really funny stuff. He's something about a jackal,
running from a jackal.
Running from a jackal. There's the one where it's a pizza dream, and then there's also one where
it's like a sex dream, but then she starts with the pizza,
hitting him with pizza and stuff or something like that. I don't know.
There's the pizza neck pillow.
The pizza neck pillow, yeah.
Is it like Inception, but with funnier things?
Yeah.
No.
This is a good try, though. No. Anyways, so I'm just trying to think of some of the things that I wrote down here. It's been a while since we saw this now, so it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of interesting cinematic techniques. There's he talks to the camera a lot, so third wall.
Yeah.
Fourth wall. A lot of dream sequences, things like that, stuff that you don't see a lot anymore. It's kind of, I thought, at least compared to Don't Think Twice, this was like super ambitious. And I think it's really kind of very ambitious to cast yourself in a leading role for your first film.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because like he wrote, directed, starred in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's like learning to become a leading man kind of, but I don't think he's quite there yet. And then for Don't Think Twice, he is kind of still the leading man, but he pulls himself out of the role a little bit more. So and lets the whole cast kind of take over that.
Yeah, I don't really see him as a leading man in Don't Think Twice. I mean,
Right? Yeah, it's not quite as much.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, I guess we got to move along here, huh? So the other one we watched was Don't Think Twice, of course, which is a very recent release.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepwalk with Me was 2012, I think. This movie is about an improv comedy troupe and what they're losing their lease on their theater, and some of them are making it big and some of them aren't. So Mike Birbiglia is trying to, it's like a SNL parody kind of thing where it's like some of them have tryouts with, SNL to be a cast member, one of them makes it, that kind of thing, and then it's about the group dynamic. And anyways, I like this movie a lot better. I really like Sleepwalk with Me, but this is by far one of my favorite movies from this year so far. It's great cast: Keegan-Michael Key, Gillian Jacobs.
Yeah.
Julian
Michaels.
Then you got Chris Gethard, Tammy Sager, Ben Stiller for a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
I guess maybe that's kind of supposed to be a surprise. Kate Micucci is in it too. But yeah, great cast. Definitely go out and see this movie because it's a great indie film, and he really perfected all the things that I feel like he got wrong in his first film. So this is definitely a step in the right direction, and it's really highly rated and reviewed. So
I think my favorite part of Don't Think Twice were the improv scenes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what I want to know is that real improv or did they write those?
No, they actually do know this. Because I was there for the talk afterwards. It was all written out, so it's basically them acting out these improv scenes that they wrote ahead of time. So it's really hard to like pull that off and make it seem like
they did a good
up
job.
with it. Yeah, no, for sure. And then the camera work on stage is really cool because it like floats around them and it's just really, really well done. Anyways, go see Don't Think Twice.
Yeah.
Sleepwalk with Me if you get a chance. That's a good one too. Next up, Donna, you got a film for us, right? You wanna get into a film that you saw this week?
Yeah, so you guys are going to be so proud of me. Yesterday, I watched 3 movies in one day.
Oh
That's more than she's watched in a year.
That seriously is more than I watched in an entire year. And I kicked off my movie day with something called Zombievers, which I have no idea how that movie even came up, but pretty much it's this group of kids who, college kids maybe, high school kids, college kids, and they these girls are like wanting to go have a girls' night out in the woods, but then of course the boys ruin everything and show up anyways and crash their camping date, and then
dang boys,
they're stupid fucking boys. But then they are staying in this cabin, and the cabin's on a lake, and there's these like radioactive zombie beavers who come and attack.
Zombievers.
Yeah,
Zombievers.
hence the name.
So, yeah, lots of action.
Yeah.
Lots.
There isn't any actors or anything? Like, I'm looking at the cast. I don't really recognize
If there
anybody
were, I
here.
couldn't tell you their names anyways. But,
Right.
Did you like it?
I mean...
Bill
Losers.
Burr.
Oh, yeah, Bill Burr
Burr's in
is
it.
in
Oh,
the
yeah,
opening
that's why I
scene.
know it. He was talking about this on his podcast. Like,
He's in the
oh, wow,
opening
yeah, I'm in this
scene.
Zombievers movie. Rachel Melvin is the lead. She is in the Dumb and Dumber sequel.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
Never saw that either.
Yeah, so I'm sure this is actually probably better than that, so.
I mean, I don't know. I can't compare it, but
Yeah.
there were definitely some unexpected things that happened. I mean, I'm not going to give it away, so you can all have a chance to watch it.
Where did you
yourself.
see it?
Where did I see
Yeah,
it?
was it on Netflix or something?
Oh
like
yes,
that?
it was on Netflix.
Okay,
I was like,
so this
I
is,
was on my couch.
yeah.
Why does that matter?
Just so people know where they can check it
Yes,
out.
go find it on Netflix.
So you would recommend it?
I would recommend it as one of those movies where like you don't exactly have to pay attention all the way, like, and you're just hanging out with your friends, like having fun. Like, I wouldn't choose to watch this movie on my own to like be serious about it, but
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
good group movie.
good movie. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. The other ones? What else did you see?
You just want to go through all
Oh
of them
yeah,
right
let's hear what you got.
now? Okay, the second one I watched was God Bless America, which I had no idea anything about it, but my friend put it on. We were just on a movie watching binge, but it was about this guy who is just like, I guess like, I don't know how you describe him, just really grumpy and like upset with the world and like thinks people are crazy. And he like, in the beginning of the movie, he always imagines like killing his neighbors and like killing his coworkers. And like, so there's these scenes where he just like literally pulls out shotguns and handguns and just like shoots people and in his dreams. And then he winds up like actually killing someone and then goes on this crazy killing spree with this high school girl that he meets who is also crazy. And it kind of ends with like a really loving scene between them, you know, coming together, and it.
That's so weird. So this is a comedy.
I mean, it's
Kind of.
it like I can't describe it. It's like a comedy, but like a really like messed up comedy.
Right. Oh yeah. So it's a
like-
black comedy.
I guess that's what you would call it.
So it's I just looked it up. It's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. Did you know
I don't
that?
know who that is.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you don't? Yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait.
Wait. Well, the name sounds familiar, but
Let me
I can't.
see if I can find a picture so you guys can recognize him. He just directed, what did he direct? A movie called Call Me Lucky that I heard was really, really good, but I haven't had a chance to see it. All these pictures are terrible. I'm looking for like an old one. What is he known for? I'm trying to think of what the main thing he's known for is. He's like a stand-up comedian. He does a lot of voices on like Bob's Burgers and stuff like that.
Oh.
Adventure Time, things like, yeah, like all kinds of, he does a lot of voices.
Well, he
Lilo and
certainly is
Stitch.
creative.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did you say Lilo and Stitch?
yeah, a lot of like Disney stuff.
Oh.
Hercules, the movie and the TV series. Like you'd recognize his voice. If he's like one of those guys you'd recognize his voice. I don't know if you'd
Weird.
recognize like a picture of him, but
That
yeah,
is so bizarre.
yeah, he's kind of a crazy dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has all these like these references to like modern culture. Like there's a reference to like what we know as American Idol and like My Sweet 16. Like there's all these references to
fake things.
fake
that
versions
they're
of
just
it.
like fake versions
like
of it.
theirs
like
is called
Weekend
American
Live.
Superstar and like I forget what the
Exactly,
what it's
like
called,
Don't
but-
Think Twice had Weekend Live, which is a play on Saturday Night Live kind of thing.
Yeah.
So. Interesting.
Yeah. It was,
So, okay, would you recommend this one?
I would recommend it because it I don't know, there's just something about it that like kind of makes you think like at a little deeper level, like
Yeah.
not that you would actually go out and like kill a bunch of people, but
Right.
it's kind of weird like,
It's like
as a society, like what we actually care about and like what we pay attention to. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it sounds like subversive film. Like it's really just not something you'd see every day, but like the story
yeah.
that you tell in the process of like, you know, trying to get into people's minds that are kind of crazy or different.
yeah.
Like that's always super interesting to me. So
Yeah, it was cool.
I'm into that. I'll definitely check that one out. Also on Netflix.
Also on Netflix. All of these are on Netflix.
Okay, gotcha. And then what was the last one?
The last one is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen it multiple times, but it's Chicken Little.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what Chicken Little is about, then you've been living under a rock your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about this chicken, this little chicken.
Is it not Chicken Little or?
This chicken that is little. He, in the beginning of the movie imagines that the sky is falling when it turns out to just be an acorn that falls on his head. So everyone thinks this guy's crazy and like is making fun of this poor little chicken. And then like a series of events happen, and like he becomes like the town hero for a little bit, and then of course like the sky starts falling again, and he goes on this crazy adventure of like I mean, I don't want to give too much away or anything, but like it winds up being like discovering aliens, and there's an alien invasion and all kinds of stuff, but it's really fun.
I don't know how this one got past me. This is what, 2000, the 2005 version.
Never seen Chicken Little?
No, I've never seen Chicken Little.
Oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's great. There's so many funny parts in it too. Just like I seriously crack up when I watch it.
Like an egg?
2005 is the one.
Crack up
The one
like
on
a
the
little
chicken
egg.
Because I remember watching it when I was little.
There might be, versions of it
It's
that
like
like older versions, but like the most
The
recent
animated
version,
one.
the animated one is
Yeah.
2005
Yeah.
with Zach Braff, Joan Cusack, Gary Marshall, Patrick Stewart, Steve Zahn.
Zahn,
I
dude.
love a good Steve Zahn movie.
Alright.
Yeah, or what's That Thing You Do? My favorite Steve Zahn movie. Cool. So I'll have to check that one
I like
out.
Yeah,
Sahara.
I recommend that.
Sahara. I haven't
That's
seen
the
Sahara.
first one you have to watch out of all of them. Is
Yeah, okay.
Chicken Little.
Gotcha. It's short too. I can do an hour and 20 minutes.
The best character is the big pig. Like,
What's the name of that character? Do you know?
I forget what his name is. Oh, dang it. I can't remember. I'm just thinking of the scene where there's like this teacher and he's going through all the names of the kids, like Foxy Loxy and then like Penny Penny, and like it just says all these names, and then I forget what the pig's name is.
Dang.
Dang it. However, there is a Morcupine Porcupine, and he's like the cool kid in school because he has like these cool spike hair and he wears sunglasses.
Yeah, porcupines are cool, dude.
Yeah.
They're super
He's a
sick.
cool kid.
I like hedgehogs.
Hedgehogs. Yeah, they're same family.
Similar.
If I said the name of the character, do you think you would know it?
Well, yeah.
Okay, we have Zach Braff plays Chicken Little. Joan Cusack plays Abby Mallard.
Oh, that's the ugly duckling.
Okay. Gary Marshall plays Buck Cluck.
No.
Don Knotts is Mayor Turkey Lurkey.
No.
Seems like you would know which one is the pig, Trevor.
Right, but I don't see anything. Principal Fetchit.
No.
Runt of the Litter.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, run.
Runt.
Right, but like you were talking about this big pig.
Oh, he's giant. He's
Right.
gigantic.
Why would it be called Runt?
Because it's funny.
funny.
Okay, I got it. That's Steve Zahn.
He's
Sick.
like, oh, he's so cute.
Gotcha. Okay, now I get it.
Alright.
Anyways.
Just leave me some water, some chips if you have them. Do you
I don't. It's been so long since I've seen that
you
movie.
have to watch it. He has the best lines in that movie.
Let's see. What's a good transition here?
I saw the SpongeBob movie.
SpongeBob movie. Tell
Sponge-
us. I have seen the SpongeBob movie.
The
I saw it last
SpongeBob
year,
movie,
but-
Sponge
when
Out
did
of
that come
Water,
out?
last year.
Oh, the new one.
Oh.
Is the
Yeah.
one I saw. Okay, gotcha. Well, I've seen both, but. Oh yeah, that's
The one with the
That's a good picture.
Antonio Banderas pirate cook.
Yes, the one that's like split between
Animated
animated and
and- yeah.
live action, right?
What about Kubo?
Isn't that all
It
of
was okay.
That's all of SpongeBob. Animated and live action.
Oh, I guess you're
Remember
right.
when they have those scenes of just like a sponge?
Oh yeah,
Like,
but this is different.
or
Like
the
this
pirate
is
in the beginning of the.
right,
Well,
right.
yeah.
Anyways, okay, sorry.
But this movie goes from like the first half is like animated, and then they like go on land, and the rest is like filmed like normal
Yeah.
on.
I kind of just preferred the animated part.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like
The live action just came off as like super corny,
yeah,
And-
and
not very interesting.
I like it that Antonio Banderas is in it.
Yeah,
like-
but he was so cheesy. It was just,
I know, and I think, but
What do you
like,
expect?
like that's okay.
Right,
like,
but like
that's
still.
it's a kids movie. But even though like, I'm sure a lot of adults see because like SpongeBob came out so long ago.
Yeah.
it's more of a
It's like
it's
our
more
generation.
of our generation
Yeah.
thing. But it was whatever. I'll never watch it again
Right, yeah, for sure.
unless I'm forced to.
Okay.
Would you recommend it?
If you like SpongeBob, like if you like super hardcore like SpongeBob,
Then you'll love the first half of this movie.
yeah.
Beyond
But like,
that,
but
we
like,
can't
I mean,
say
honestly,
for
like
sure.
my SpongeBob days are behind me. I don't seek out SpongeBob
Yeah.
to watch every day.
Gotcha. Okay.
My leg.
All right. Do we want to talk about Kubo next?
Sure. Yeah.
We got somebody here who's seen Kubo.
Yeah.
I saw Kubo.
What did you think of Kubo?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really creative, and I especially just liked the animation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of even more than the whole story.
Right.
It was just visually very.
It was visually very.
Trevor just showed me a picture of his cat. It was super cute. Anyway, it was visually very beautiful, and I really I appreciated that.
Right. Everything that they do, that Leica company has been really. You haven't seen most of them, right? Or have you seen any of them? Box Trolls, Paranorman.
Nope. Yep.
And Coraline.
Nope.
Okay, gotcha. It's always they're all really like beautiful animation and everything. This one I liked, but I didn't like it as much as some of the other ones.
Which one is it?
Kubo and the Two Strings.
What is
Just came out.
Yeah, it's a recent release.
Is it the Hawaiian one? No.
No, that's
that's
not out yet.
Moana.
That's Moana.
Oh.
the rock movie.
Yeah.
No, this is the story is basically like it's so
It's so magical. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's
basically a kid who is like orphaned kind of, and then he goes into like an ethereal world kind of thing, and then like
You what?
Oh no, what
What'd you
world?
ethereal, ethereal, like
That
To
word's too
man's
big
motto.
for me.
sorry,
Like another dimension.
yeah, kind
another
of, yeah, exactly,
I don't really see it as that.
ether.
yeah, that's the word based
Well, the
off
whole
of the word.
movie is obviously not based on reality. It's
Like outer
it's
space?
No, it's a dream world. It's magic. Magic is real and alive. It's
Like Storybrooke.
yeah, exactly. There you go.
Okay,
But,
now you can join the conversation. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but basically it's like, okay, Matthew McConaughey plays like a beetle.
Yeah.
I guess is what it is, and
Yeah.
then who's the girl?
Charlize Theron
plays
A
mom,
monkey.
slash
Slash
the
monkey.
kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it's all Japanese culture kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense when you're watching it, but hard to explain.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of thing.
definitely like not like any other story that I've seen before in an animated film. It wasn't like typical or anything.
Right, for sure. Maybe
It was very different.
It was like a subconscious like cultural bias that I had against it. Like not against it, but
You're
like,
racist. Is
yes,
what
I know. But like I just the fact that I couldn't connect with it.
Yeah,
I guess is
totally.
kind of what like left me wanting more. I guess.
Ah, you've been catching Pokemon this past.
Oh, totally different. I'm here in America catching Pokemon. No, but yeah, it's good. It's fine. Like the story left me kind of wanting more, but at the very least, you can justify paying money to go see it just for the visuals. You know what I mean? Just because it's beautiful
I agree.
animation.
Well, I think I liked it more than you guys, apparently.
Okay, tell us why.
Well,
Matthew
I mean,
McConaughey.
duh, Matthew McConaughey. I don't know. I think a lot of people didn't like the story for some reason. I thought it was good, and when you say it left you wanting more, like, what more did you want?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I felt like it was wrapped up pretty well.
No, not like it wasn't wrapped up well. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just like dense, and like I wasn't following everything. Like they were leaving things like open ended, for at least from my perspective. Not at the end, but like in the middle. Just like we're kind of just kind of meandering through all of this, and like there wasn't a lot of urgency for certain parts of it. I think is what it was for me. I guess is where I was hung up on it.
Okay.
I mean, they wrapped it up, and I couldn't get over the fact that he had 3 strings on his guitar, and
it was called Two Strings.
Kubo.
Okay, see, this is the
It's
part
the mom
that.
and the dad, and Kubo's the third.
Yes.
So
Right.
it's Kubo and the 2 strings, because
So it's like saying
is one of the strings.
saying 1 string and the 2 strings.
Yeah, it's 1 string
Right.
and the 2
Yeah.
strings.
But that's too much math for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 3 is just
it's just
too much.
No, it just was something that I got caught up on at
Yeah.
the beginning, because he had 3 strings on the guitar, and I was like, what is the what?
But
And
that's-
they didn't explain it till
Was
like,
it
the
Right,
a
but I know,
full guitar
that's
missing
kinda like-
strings?
But like I had the same thing, but and then the whole time I was like, wait,
Like,
so
you
when
could
is
be-
it
it's not
gonna
like it's
gonna come down to 2 strings? And then at the end you're like, oh, he's the 3rd string.
The
so
title was spoilers.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
spoilers, but
You don't
Right
know.
now, I'm kidding.
but you,
It's- yeah, no,
you
I
didn't
get it.
know.
I get it, but it was just something.
And actually,
that
I liked that. I liked that they called it Kubo and the 2 strings, and there were 3 strings.
Right. Okay, I get it.
And
It's
then,
just me. It's just me. I suck.
but I think the part that I really liked was his aunties that were
Oh, yeah,
trying
But
to
who
get
were
him.
they?
Yeah, that was
Wasn't that-
Rooney Mara.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Rooney
Rooney Mara
Mara.
played the voice. Did the voice of both of them.
Yeah,
sisters.
and I actually like I
They were
kind of wanted them.
They
to,
were kind of spooky.
They were my favorite part. I wanted them to like win.
Oh my God.
Rooting for the bad guys in
Yeah,
this one.
but then once they were gone, I was like,
Alright.
okay,
God, I'm
let's
so
go.
glad
Let's
they're
go,
gone.
Kubo. Let's
Yeah.
go, Team Kubo.
Yeah, for sure. All right, got through all of those. What else? What else we got on here?
Hello.
Yeah,
or
you want to
High
talk
Water?
Hell or High Water?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that was a great movie. So it's Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine,
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster.
Good to see Ben Foster again.
Yeah, and another role where he's just like kind of
Crazy.
a crazy bad guy.
Yeah.
But like
But that's
that's a great thing about this movie. Actually, what I was thinking about this movie was that like on paper, like this kind of is something that we've seen before. Like this is like a kind of a modern western kind of thing.
Yeah.
With Jeff Bridges, you know what I mean? Like this is like looking at the previews and the poster and everything. I was like, oh, I've seen this movie before. Like this is gonna be kind of mediocre or whatever. But
Yeah.
like it ended up being so good.
Mhm.
So Ben Foster and Chris Pine play brothers who are robbing banks to
pay back the bank
pay back the bank that
on their reverse mortgage.
yeah, exactly,
on their mom's house.
their mom's house or their property or whatever, where they just found oil or something like that. And then Jeff Bridges plays the sheriff, basically going after them. So that's what the plot is. It's like a really interesting take on like good versus evil, because like who's really the bad guy in this? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they're bad guys, they're robbing banks, but like for what reason? It's like you know, Robin Hood. You know what I mean? It's like a modern Robin Hood.
Yeah.
It really is. So yeah, I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was fucking fantastic. This is a great movie, and there's a lot of like, especially at the end. Like I'm sure you remember the scene of like the very one of the very last scenes where they're just it's kind of like a stare off as one is leaving kind of thing. Like it's just these tense moments where things could blow up, but like they just really, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but you just got to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Go see it.
I like that.
Yeah. And if you like westerns, cool.
I do. I do like westerns.
Do you want to talk about Jane Got a Gun then?
Well, it's another western, so. Yeah, it was an okay film.
I remember seeing the previews for this one going, oh, that could have potential, but then it kind of got swept under the rug and released in January or something, like mid-January, and we didn't get it. And
I feel like did it even get a theatrical release? Or
it did,
just...
but like really, I think they realized that it wasn't going to make a bunch of money, so they just stopped expanding it the way they were going to. So it really only ended up in a handful of theaters. So, but like, what's it about at least?
So Jane,
got a gun.
She got a gun. So Jane's married to an outlaw, and the outlaw kind of was in this outlaw group and decided that he wanted to marry Jane and leave the group. Blah blah blah. The group didn't really like that.
I don't like that.
And so they were kind of after him, and so him and Jane are just like living on a little ranch out in the desert. And
So is it
like,
kind of like a chase movie kind of?
no, well, there's some other part I need to to talk about.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
So, but before that, Jane was like engaged to a guy, and then he went off to war, and then he didn't come back, and then that's when she met the outlaw, because like she was like trying to travel west, and they were gonna like help her, but then they were like gonna rape her, and then this one outlaw who she married like said no.
Okay.
That's good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds like a keeper.
So now these outlaws are trying to get Jane and her husband. Well, actually, her husband was like in town and like ran into like one of them. They got in like a shootout, and he got shot a couple times in the back, and he rode all the way back home. And Jane was like, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh no, who did this?" And then so this guy's like in real bad shape, so she has to go find her fiance or her ex-fiance and ask for help to fight off the bad guys.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Magnificent Seven, but just one person.
The Magnificent One.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds kind of like a long-winded plot.
There's a lot of, I mean, I think. Well, I just made it seem
Gotcha.
confusing, but it's pretty simple actually. But there's just a lot of like flashbacks and
Jumps all over the place, kind of.
yeah.
Did it feel long? Feel like a long movie?
No.
Held your attention?
Yeah.
How was what's her name?
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, it's Natalie Portman that's in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool.
No, when you're.
I mean, not my favorite Natalie Portman movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, based on what how you're describing it, didn't seem like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just okay. Like, there's a lot of westerns that
You could do better with.
love, and this is not one of them.
Middle of the road. There's a lot of westerns I love, and this is.
I mean, it's
no
Unforgivable.
Gotcha.
I mean, Unforgiven.
This movie.
Unforgivable is a little different movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's talk. What did we watch? We watched last night. We watched 8 Days a Week.
Yeah.
The new Beatles documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Travis and I watched a movie
What else?
that.
What did you watch before that?
Short Term 12.
Oh yeah, you guys watched Short Term 12. I've seen that.
Yeah.
What did you guys
We can
think
talk
of?
about it.
Yeah, let's talk about Short Term 12.
Oh.
Well, I know Leah really liked it.
Uh-huh.
Well, I know Travis really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it because it was super heavy and it felt really authentic and real the way that they shot it. And actually,
Yeah, for sure. I remember that's one thing that I definitely do remember about it is
Yeah.
like feeling like the camera work really made you kind of uneasy and
Yeah.
feel how real everything was
it's
going
just,
on.
I mean, it's so real. Anything that involves children and issues and heartache and like not having families just makes your heart like, I mean, I definitely cried a couple times. But it was cool because actually we afterward, we were, I don't know what, we were in an auditorium with a big class, like a film class. And afterward we got to Skype with the director.
Nice.
And the writer, right?
Yeah.
And so actually someone asked him about, you know, what techniques did you use to make it feel so real? And he definitely said, you know, a lot of handheld camera, a lot of, I don't know, what else did he say about that?
The opening scene is
Maybe
like
Well,
a chase, kind of like a chase scene,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
And then
that's
it
the
ends-
one that sticks in my mind is like, whoa, like it just kind of jumps right in, and then there's like that handheld chase down scene. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's-
just even like the people, the main characters who work at the group home, like the way they even dress, they just all look so normal and fit in with that sort of, I guess, profession of working with kids in that situation. Kind of wearing old dirty Converse and, you know, t-shirts, but also being like adults. And
Right.
it was a great movie, and Brie Larson was awesome, and the kids were really great too. He casted the kids really well.
Yeah, it's another thing I remember about is like the strong acting is like,
Yeah.
because in that situation, you have to cast people who are that age or around that age or can look that age and still really provide. It's hard, for young actors to provide like such an emotional, experience to this role, and it's really intense, but really well done.
The director said that, like, they watched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of auditions of kids.
Oh,
and
sure.
then they'd finally, one after another would finally pick one that just nailed it and they just knew would be perfect. But he said it was a really, like, long process.
I'm sure, because if you don't get the right things, like, it's just going to come off as, like, cheesy or bad, and, like, you can't have that in this kind of movie. Like, it's just not going to work. There was actually a big push from the indie film community trying to get Brie Larson nominated for the year that this came out. I remember it because when the nominations came out, there was like people who were like, "These people suck! Like, where's Brie Larson?" Like, just because But she was pretty unknown at that point when it came out. So
he said he had big names casted for this movie, and a month before they shot, they all backed out, and he couldn't mention the names because he's like, you would all know them.
Really?
I can't say the names, but they were big people, and they all decided to give up on it before we even started shooting. So within a month, he Skyped with Brie Larson, and she agreed to do it.
Nice.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
A month before.
Yeah.
It's like no time to prepare for this kind of thing. That's crazy. All right, let's talk 8 days a week before we wrap here. We had a lot of movies to get to. Maybe we'll save some for next time, just so we don't run too long here.
Yeah.
But let's wrap with 8 days a week.
Yeah.
Directed by Ron Howard. Although there's not, I mean, you know.
Oh, you mean Opie from the Andy Griffith Show?
I do mean Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. It's always, I mean, I know there's a lot of directing work that goes into this kind of thing, but it's always weird to me when these like archival documentaries come out and it's just like, oh, directed by this big person. It's like, oh, well, how much did they really do? But I mean, they do a lot, but it's like there was no footage to shoot, for this movie. Like maybe a couple of talking head interviews, like a couple, but most of the ones that were in this movie, like I had seen in other Beatles documentaries and stuff before, so it wasn't like a lot of new footage shot, if any at all. Anyways, what did you guys think of it?
I really liked it. I'm just, I'm a big Beatles guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
who isn't?
Oh, there's some people out there.
Some jerks.
Yeah.
Kids these days don't even know who the Beatles are.
Disrespect.
Not any kids I hang out with.
How many kids do you hang out with?
Yeah, just trying to think.
Owen.
Yeah, just Owen.
I remember when Paul McCartney and Kanye West did a performance, and on Twitter, all these kids were like, "Who's that old guy performing with Kanye West?"
And there's a couple that were like, "Oh, that old dude's music's gonna blow up now because he just did a thing with Kanye West."
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
Anyways,
yeah. There's just a lot of things I hadn't seen before.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was one of the big draws for this movie. Is they were like, "Oh, there's a lot of new footage and a lot of new things that you haven't seen before that we were able to dig up," kind of thing.
And it was just cool to hear stories of the tours.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's basically the focus of this movie was the touring years. That's why it's the subtitle is the touring years. I think it's really hard to do an entire Beatles documentary because there's so much to cover.
Yeah.
And this was already pretty long. You could take all that footage and that archival stuff that they had and make 20, 30 different movies, and it's like, how are you going to tell this story? You could tell the story a million different ways, you know what I mean? I thought it was good. I liked the whole, let's see what the early stuff kind of was, because it was, the touring years, they basically had to stop because they were too popular.
Yeah.
It was just...
too overwhelming.
People were dying, you know what I mean? Some of that footage was...
awesome.
Crazy. And so awesome. I liked watching all the old footage more than, watching an interview of someone famous saying that she liked the Beatles.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I
stuff was kind of alright. But...
yeah, I mean,
I actually did like those.
Yeah.
For me, it was more entertaining to watch just the crowds and the extent of just how actually famous they became in such a short amount of time, and just how how crazy it was. Like you said, all the like deaths and casualties of people in the crowds because they were so just such big
Overwhelmed,
fans.
yeah.
And there were just too many people in one space at one time. Like no one can stop them from rushing the stage.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was cool. I did fall asleep at the very end just because it was late. So I don't know what happened to the Beatles. I missed it.
What happened to the Beatles at the end?
Well,
What happens, Travis?
they found the treasure.
Oh, okay.
Great. But yeah, like my main issue with it is even though they tried to tell like just like a section of it, it's like it just kind of left me wanting more. You know what I mean? Even though it was like already long and it was just like, oh, we got to Sgt. Pepper's and then it was over. Like the most interesting section, right? But like the most interesting section of the Beatles' career to me is the recordings, like the studio recordings phase.
Yeah, but it's the touring years.
Yeah, I know, and which makes me think maybe there's another one coming.
The recording years.
Yeah, the recording years. Yeah, exactly.
The smoking pot years.
Yeah, the drug years.
Doing mushroom years.
LSD years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I'd love to see. Well, I'm sure there's like that's a thing. There's probably
Doing mushrooms would be fun.
I know what you're saying. No.
There's probably documentaries like out there. I mean, I've seen documentaries like about a more expansive coverage or whatever. But I'd like to see them tackle the other half of this kind of story that they left on the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good movie. If you like documentaries, you like the Beatles.
There you go.
It's gonna be good. That's it. That's a wrap. We're gonna wrap it up for this episode. We talked a lot of movies.
Yeah, I did.
But there's more to come.
Yeah, so I'll save I had one thing I wanted to say about another movie, but I'll say that for next time.
Another movie. Oh, another movie that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys will see what that is next time on the Blockbuster Bash Brothers. Thank you guys for being here.
High five. High five. High five.
I thought you hate high fives.
I know.
But they can hear it. But they can hear it.
But I also hate talking about movies, so I'm trying to do this.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It's a special occasion. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, exactly, on our YouTube page, because we're not really doing SoundCloud so much anymore. Because
SoundCloud's silly.
Yeah, or sucks. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. But we'll try to figure out something else in the future. Yeah, thanks for listening. Have a good one.
Bye.